Hello, and welcome back to the journey from Cana. August 5th was the feast day for Our Lady of Snows. Our Lady of Snows isn't a typical Marian apparition, however, is another beautiful example of how a love and devotion to our Blessed Mother always points back to her Son, and how it's impossible to love her more than God does. The legend begins on August 4th in the year 352, during the reign of Pope Liberius. There was a rich couple, who we only know of as John and his wife, and they had no children. They had been praying endlessly, asking for the Blessed Mother intercession for them to have an heir. And on that night, the couple dreamed that the Blessed Mother was instead requesting them to use their fortune to build a church on a hill, the Esquiline Hill in Rome, and that the specific location would be covered in snow. When they woke up that morning, despite it being a hot summer day, they went to the hill, and they found it covered in snow. Not long after, Pope Liberius also arrives, having received a similar dream, and finds the snow-covered hill with a crowd of people marveling at this mysterious summer snowfall. The area was immediately outlined, and as soon as they finished, the snow began to melt. 2 years later, the church was complete, with Pope Liberius consecrating it to the Blessed Mother and naming it Basilica Liburnia. 70 years later, Pope Sixtus III renovated the church to be even grander in scale and renamed it Basilica Sixty, and the Church of Santa Maria Maggiore, which means Saint Mary Major. Upon its completion, Pope Sixtus rededicated it to the Blessed Mother and presented a picture painted on a slab of cedar wood of the Blessed Mother with the baby Jesus. The picture is believed to have been found by Saint Helen, the mother of Emperor Constantine, on her pilgrimage to the Holy Land, and it is believed to have been painted by none other than Saint Luke himself, the author of the Gospel. The picture is named Salus Populi Romania, which means the salvation of the Roman people, because of the devotions and miracles that have been associated with it. For example, in the year 600s, Rome was being ravaged by a plague, and Pope Gregory I took the image and carried it in a procession around the city. And when they stopped, they heard a heavenly choir singing Regina Coeli, and when the Pope asked for the Blessed Mother to pray for the city, he saw Saint Michael replacing the sword of vengeance in its scabbard, after which the plague ended. And this isn't the only relic held within Our Lady of Snows Basilica. Wood believed to have come from the manger of our Lord himself in Bethlehem is stored there, and the gold decorations that you see throughout the church were gifted to the church from King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. The gold was mined from the Spanish colonies in America, and was offered to the church as first fruits in honor of our Blessed Mother. There are several other memorable events in the church history that are tied to it. St. Ignatius celebrated his first Mass here, and St. Pius V prayed a rosary to obtain victory at Lepanatano, a major victory for the Christian West, and a turning point in the invasion of the invading Muslims of the Ottoman Empire, a victory that saved Christianity itself. Today the basilica stands as one of the largest in the world, with the church and the legend of its origin being celebrated on August 5th. On its feast day, white blossoms are showered from the dome of the chapel to represent the miracle of snow that occurred on that day, almost 1700 years ago. Does it make sense now why I said the Blessed Mother always points to her Son, and in other videos why I say God answers prayers with a yes, not now, or I have something better planned? Think about it for a minute. The couple asked for the Blessed Mother's intercession for them to have a child. Instead, she instructs them to use the money to create a place of worship in honor of her son. When the church is renovated 70 years later, it is after the church declares the dogma of Mary that she is the Theotokos, the God-bearer, or as we call her in English, the Mother of God. This church becomes the sanctuary for some of our most holy relics, such as the wood from the manger and a painting of Mary with baby Jesus by St. Luke himself. The place is steeped in history, connecting it to the moments that will echo throughout the ages, like the battle that saved the Christian West, and the first Mass of St. Ignatius, the founder of the Society of Jesus, which is better known as the Jesuits. And that doesn't even begin to touch the miracles, both large and small, that have come from the prayers of the faithful over the ages. And that's the legacy of the legend of the Lady of Snow. It's a legend because we have no way of proving that it actually snowed on that day in August all those years ago. What we do know is that a couple, while praying for an heir, was instead urged by the Blessed Mother to honor her son with a church. The couple, obedient, did what they were asked, and the graces of God have been poured out beyond imagining. In a way, you could say that all Christians are heirs to John and his wife, with not only the church, but all the graces that have flown from their yes. God truly answered their prayer with, "But I have something better planned." So the next time you pray, and you feel your prayer isn't answered the way you expect it to be, offer it up to Our Lady of Snow, and remember the words of the prophet Jeremiah. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I guarantee that couple had no idea of the hope and future that God had in store for them. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe so that we may continue the journey from Cana.
Yeah.